Hi, welcome to the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry, and on Instagram, I'm Mel-Tran Designs. There's also a Mel-Tran Designs page on Facebook and a group on Ravelry as well. So go ahead and go join over there and you will know when a new episode comes up and if any patterns are released or anything like that. So anyways, I hope you're doing well. Today is Friday, August 25th, 2017. That means it's 2 weeks in a row that I've recorded. Woohoo! Don't want to jinx it that, and by saying, hey, I'm on a roll. Well, 2 weeks in a row isn't quite a roll yet, but we're getting there. I'm sitting outside again today, as you can tell. It's a beautiful day and I wanted to take advantage of it. So anyways, I got my bling. I got this at the convention in June, and I'm loving wearing it in the mornings because I bought it and then I was like, it's 100 degrees outside. I can't wear it. But now it's just cool enough in the mornings, like when I walk my kids to school and whatnot, so I can wear it. And it's nice and long and flowy. I love knit fabrics. So anyways, I hope you're doing well. Today is Anansi's birthday. She's my oldest, and she's 14. She, as you'll know if you watched last week, my gate is crooked. I think it's broken. Sorry, I just looked over there. Squirrel, just kidding. Anyway, if you watched last week, you'll know that she started high school. So she's now finally old enough to be in high school, kind of. Because her birthday is so late, the cutoff is September 1st here. And so there are kids who actually turned 15 this week who are in her class, and she's turning 14. So anyways, but on her birthday every year, in my own mind and heart, because I don't want to take away from her, I also celebrate for me a little bit because that's the day I became a mom. And so I'm celebrating her being 14, but I'm also celebrating that 14 years ago today I got the bestest title that anyone could ever have of mommy. So anyway, if I talk about it anymore, I'll start to cry, but those of you who are parents know what I'm talking about. It's a special thing when you're with your oldest. So anyways, that's, I guess, part of my weekend review, even though it's today. I can show you my tomato bush that's going on here. Right there, nice and tall. My watering system, oh, that's my fat kitty Marsh. Well, his name is actually Marshmallow, but we just all call him Marsh. See that blue bucket? That's actually my watering system. I'll just tell you about it really fast because I know somebody's going to ask me about it. I read a thing a couple years ago online about this guy who got these amazing tomatoes by burying this 5-gallon bucket, and you drill some holes around the bottom. I just put like 4 or 5, about this far up from the bottom, and then you bury it. You could see until there's that lip that sticks out. Well, you drill some holes around the bottom of that, so you bury it until those holes are kind of sitting on the ground, and then you put compost and whatnot inside of it, or plant food. I don't use plant food because I don't like chemicals in my stuff as much as possible. I only use my house water when I'm watering it. I don't use irrigation water because it has all the pesticides and stuff in it. I don't eat organic because I can't afford it, and not all of it is worth the price, but there are a few things that you definitely are getting, stuff straight into the product, and tomatoes are kind of one of those. And anyway, so I don't use plant food, but if you want to, more power to you. I don't care. I'm not going to judge. But we have a local store called Zamzows that has a little bit of everything, but they have compost that they sell there because I don't compost either. I'll throw some eggshells in there that I'll crush up when I do eggs, or a couple random things here and there, but otherwise I just buy theirs and put about this much in the bottom of it, and then you fill up the bucket. It's supposed to be once per week per plant that you have around it, and 2 years ago when I did it, because last year I was in Kentucky, I had 2 tomato plants and a green pepper plant that got killed because the tomatoes just took over and squished it. So I was doing it 3 times a week. Well, we live in the desert, so I can't only water that once a week. So I'm actually doing it about 3 times a week anyways, even though it's the only thing in my garden. I say garden because that really, it had like spruce bushes when we moved in, and there is a bleeding heart plant that is done now. But anyways, so yeah, you can see it's pretty big. My window that you can see it's, you know, creeping up over is probably at least 4 feet from the ground, I'm wanting to say. Anyways, so you just fill up that bucket. You don't water any other way. You just fill up the bucket 3 times a week ish, and it works amazing because some of the water comes up through the holes, you know, to get the ground. The rest of the water soaks down and gets the roots from underneath. So anyways, it works real well. Super high tech looking. And it looks really funny when I clear that out in the winter and there's just this blue bucket in the ground, because I just leave it. There's no point in pulling it out. So it looks kind of funny with a buried blue bucket. But anyways, there you go. There's your gardening tip of the week. That's probably about the only one you'll get from me. So anyways, let's see, anything else to review? Well, I've been working on my room. Remember I said that there wasn't enough carpet that was ordered. I finished putting drywall mud yesterday on the wall that we built to try to texture it at least somewhat similar to the other walls that are in there. And then I sprayed on, because they had some texture like that too a little bit, so I sprayed some texture on. And then when I was at the store last night, I was gonna grab a little bit of primer, because the top part is white already, but the bottom part, just on one side, they put like plywood or something when they helped us build the our contractor was an idiot. There was a reason he was fired, but anyway, so I was like, well, I just need a little thing of primer, but all they had was gallons. But then they had like spray primer, and so I was like, spray paint primer? Yes, please. And it was like $3.87 or something, 84 or whatever. So it was cheap. So I got that. So today I will be spraying that and hopefully starting to paint. I've spent the last, I don't know, hour online looking at barn door hardware. I found what I'm gonna get. It's not crazy expensive, which is awesome. And then I'm also I'm gonna build my own door, I think, because I looked at the tutorials and it's just cutting wood and sticking it together, and I'm like, I can do that. If I can build, do you see that table right there? I built that a few years ago. I think Eli was about 2 maybe when I built it. So anyway, if I can build that, please, I can build a flat door. So anyways, that'll be a fun adventure, and I will definitely keep you updated on that. I need to clean the work area that we have back there, but that's part of, remember that back porch that I was telling you that my friend had all those ideas on? Well, all the tools and stuff are back there right now anyways, and I'm going to be cleaning it, so perfect time to do that. And oh, I did pull out a ton of weeds. We had these weird, they get the poofy stuff on them like dandelions, but they're tall and then like have these branches off, and then the poofy part is really small. Anyways, they were crazy tall because we just seriously had ignored them. Like, they were nearly as tall as me, and I'm 5'2" on a good day. So I pulled all those out. Luckily, their root system is not like a dandelion that goes down like this deep and is this big around, and oh my gosh, they can get crazy. But these, the roots are like this deep, and so you can just pull them right out. So anyways, I at least did that, and that felt good. And I got rid of some just stuff back there, and I kind of swept and whatnot. Oh, and I cleaned out our carport, you guys. Oh my gosh, Jake did it. Oh, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. What month is it? August. He did it maybe 3-4 months ago, maybe, just when it just got warm enough to, really spend some time outside. And he did a good job. He didn't get rid of a lot of stuff. He just kind of reorganized everything. And kind of like inside our house, remember I was saying that we had so much stuff that we just were organizing piles into nicer stacks and trying to make them look okay. That's kind of what we did in the carport. But now I wanted to be able to clean that back area, but I couldn't, because I couldn't get through the carport to like take any trash or stuff that needed moved or whatever through the carport. So I was like, well, I gotta start at the carport. And oh my gosh, I have stuff along the sides, but you can totally walk through it. And I put everything out on my driveway and I posted on Facebook. I was like, free stuff. It has dust and dirt on it just from sitting in there, but it's totally usable and almost all of it's gone. Yay! So it was rehomed and I have space. So anyways, I know probably doesn't sound super exciting, but after feeling, what's the best way to say it? After feeling trapped in a crap hole for so many years and just kind of surviving while I was having little kids, this is so freeing and so exciting. And I hate cleaning usually. This is, just liberating. And I've loved it. With the exception of when I was putting the carport kind of back together and, all the stuff back in, and it was pretty hot. Like, we have 100 degrees coming up, and I'm like, man, it's the end of August. I thought we were done with this. But anyway, it has felt amazing. And if you've gone from clutter to clean and empty, you know what I'm talking about. And I read, kind of skimmed through a book last year and read kind of the highlights of it, that one of the quotes in there said, what was it? Clutter is visual noise. And that really resonated with me, because I looked around and I was just like, and I think I talked about this maybe in a podcast at one point, because I kind of remember saying it, but I looked around and I was like, yes, my house is screaming at me right now. There was just no relaxation, because there was just so much stuff. And now I walk into my living room and I'm just like, this is nice. I walk into my new room, even though there's totes along the side of the walls because we haven't been able to really unpack it. The rest of the space, it's clean though. And the totes, while I know they're full, I don't see all the stuff in the totes. And so it's still very peaceful. And I go into my kids' clean rooms and empty-ish rooms, and it's just like, ugh. And even walking into the carport, it just, this is so nice. I see where the stuff is. I know where it is. It has a place. It's just so nice. And I know some of you watching this are going, oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Some of you are like, I have no idea what you're talking about because my house is always clean. For those of you, well, whatever. Good for you. I hope you don't ever experience it, because it's terrible. But it's so great though to be on the, coming onto the other side of it and really feeling it. And like when people came over, I had my friends that came over 2 different times to pick up stuff. I had 2 different sets of friends who came inside, and I could show them what we've done. And then I wasn't embarrassed. There's still clutter, like in the kitchen where we haven't been able to move stuff out. In the dining room, we still have, or dining room, laundry room, there's like 3 or 4 boxes high in one spot, and in the dining room where our dresser still is. But I could invite them into the living room, and it was empty. And the boxes that are there, they're not going to be there pretty soon. So anyway, it's so thrilling. And I hope that you aren't bored of me talking about it now that we're 14 and a half minutes into the podcast. So anyways, I think that is everything. Marsh is now inside staring at me out the window. He's kind of a scaredy cat and comes outside, chews on some grass, and goes right back inside. But I do have Princess Fiona here looking so cute next to me. The reason that chair is there is because she jumped up in my chair as soon as, I set it up and went to go get my stuff, and she climbed up. I was like, nope, here's a chair for you. So anyways, let's see. I don't have anything going on, but coming up, registration is going to open for Fiber Fanatics Unite 2018. It will open up on September 15th. At some point, probably in the morning when I get up, I will activate it. You can go to fiberfanaticsunite.bigcartel.com. That's where registration will be. And after you have paid for your registration, I will be sending out a questionnaire. The only email address I'll have is the PayPal email. So if you have a better email that maybe you check more frequently or whatever, you can always shoot an email over to fiberfanaticsunite@gmail.com, and then I will receive that and can put it in, as your contact information. But anyways, it's really exciting. I went over the details last week. If you want pricing and all that kind of stuff, go ahead and go back to that one. When I record just before the 15th, I'll probably go over that again just as a refresher. But seriously, you guys, it's so much fun. And for $200 for 4 days and 3 nights, you could afford to fly or drive a little farther or whatever to still pay what you would pay for just the retreat part of most of the others. So anyway, just to keep that in mind. You could fly into Salt Lake or Boise. Just to say that really quick, we do have one lady who comes up from Utah. She and her husband come, and they have a couple extra seats in their vehicle. So if you were coming through Salt Lake or into Salt Lake, you could hop in with them because the reason I say Salt Lake is because it's a little bit cheaper to fly in there usually, but Boise, you'd have a ton of us coming from there, so you would definitely have a ride. So anyways, September 15th. Yeah, let's go down to the knitting, shall we? I've been working on more than my one project. It's not quite done yet, mostly because I just kind of got the urge to work on some other stuff. So anyway, in my awesome reversible Japanese knot bag, by the way, these are amazing if you're going to be walking and knitting, because it holds the project in there loosely so the yarn can come out, but you can put it over your wrist. So I've been walking the kids to the bus stop like I told you, so I've been working on my socks that I started actually quite some time ago and just set them aside because I was working on other things. This is some yarn that I dyed. I didn't know it was going to do this awesome striping. I had a 2-yard skein and then just dipped the 2 ends in the blue and the rest of it was in the orange. And I like that there's the white, kind of some of the white spots, because they also have white. BSU also has white in their colors. I missed. Ooh, I need to fix that. I picked up 1 ply of the yarn. See that right there? That's easy. It's just one. Hi, Belle. It's just 1 row down. So, anyways, that's what I've been working on. There's the skein of it, and it's on a 9-inch circular. I kind of bought it when everybody else did to try it out. I don't love it, but I don't hate it, and so I'm just working on it. I decided that I'm going to put in an afterthought heel. I don't love how afterthought heels fit my foot. I don't, kind of with like this, I don't love them, but I don't hate them either. But I love how this is striping, and I did not want to take the chance of it messing up when I put a heel in. And so I'm just going to do a true afterthought heel and cut it. But anyways, there's that. Oh, it's a 2.25 millimeter US 1 needle. That's what I do all of my socks on. All right. Next, I will show you the top that I was working on last week. I'm actually so close to being done. So I finished the body, and it fits really well. I can't wait to soak it and relax all the stitches and whatnot, but finished the body, got the bottom edging done with the I-cord bind off, and then I did the neck. I had to do it a couple of times. Can you tell the sun's peeking out? My hair's starting to glow. I had to do the neck twice because I picked up too many stitches along the back, and it kind of poofed out. So I redid it and picked up 2 out of every 3 and it was perfect. And I've decided for the sleeves, I was kind of speculating last week what I might do, and I really liked how it looked with just this sleeve on there, but you know, you have to close up kind of the bottom and stuff, and so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do as many rows as I have right here, which was 18. So I've done the 18 rounds, excuse me, and I did the I-cord bind off, but it was a little bit too big, so I just need to go down a needle size, because I actually did this on size 3s. These are size 4 double points, but I knit about 1 needle size smaller on double points, so I was like, that's good, because I couldn't find my 3s, but the I-cord bind off was too big, so I'll throw it on some 3s and do that. And I might even go down to some 2s, we'll see, or 2.5s. I actually have some 2.5s that I might go down to. So anyways, so I just have the I-cord bind off and then the 18 rounds and bind off on here and weaving it in, you know, kind of those finishing touches. But like I said, this was the fun part, all these wedges, and so I was like, I'm good to work on a couple other things, you know, here and there. So anyways, I have so much yarn left over though. Like so the dark blue and green, obviously I have less because I used a lot of it, but I still have this much. I rewound the balls because they were just falling apart. But look how much I have of the other two still. So I have a hat that I'd like to make out of them, I think, and I'll still have enough for maybe even some fingerless gloves, or not even use them together. I mean, you know, they're good colors for other things as well. So anyways, there's that. This is in an awesome bag that my friend's mom made. It's upholstery fabric, so it's nice and thick, so she doesn't even line it because it's so sturdy and durable, and I love it. Lastly, what I've been working on is, do you remember, oh, nope, I have two things, I guess. Oh yeah, the other thing. Do you remember when I think I said in last week's episode that Quinn, when she saw it, she's like, can you make a shirt for me when you're done with yours? And I told her yes. Well, I found this cute pattern. I only have a black and white printer, which you'll know if you've been watching for any length of time, but I can still show you the pattern. It's called Rosa Lily. Let's see, make sure. There it is. And it has this cute lace detail on the body and on the top of the arm. See how huge that sleeve is though? I am not doing that because for Quinn's size, to be done with the raglan increases, sorry Lucy just came out here, it says to get to 70 inches for the body and 63 inches for each sleeve, or stitches. 70 stitches here, 63 stitches for the sleeves. And I'm like, no. So I'm increasing every other increase round for the sleeves and doing, you know, the regular increases for the fronts and backs, because that's ridiculous. I'm also not doing the lace. I didn't like it. What's really funny is it goes from newborn all the way to 12 years, which is cool. And it says, okay, here's the different sizes, but go off of the chest measurement, not just the age. Which, so for a 3-year-old, it says 22 inches for a chest. Well, Quinn was 19 inches, which put her at the 12-month size. I'm doing the 18-month. I couldn't bring myself to do that, so I'm doing the 18-month. Anyways, so the yarns that I'm using, excuse me, I decided to do some striping. So I have some Knit Picks Felici self-striping, and then I have their just their fingering weight, whatever it's called. I don't have the thing with me. I'll tell you next week, but this is the Stroll, because this is the Stroll Brights. So I thought those went together really well, and so I've been doing 2 rounds of each yarn, and you can see that the purples, they don't quite match, you know, so you can still see a difference. I kind of like that it's bright and then a little darker, almost not a gradient necessarily, but just bright to darker to bright. So anyways, you can see, I don't know that number. was I gonna say? Oh, as you can see, I've started on my second repeat through the self-striping. So anyways, and for that lace panel kind of up at the top, I'm doing purl 2, well, on the kind of pattern row, purl 2, and then doing the right twist where you knit through both, don't drop it off, and then knit through the first one on the needle, you know, and take it off. And then I purl 3 and then do the twist again and then purl 2. And then on the off rows, purl 2, knit 2, and then I knit across this as well. And so it's creating a garter stitch here, but a reverse stockinette on each side. So I like how, you know, if you kind of look at it from a distance, it's kind of playing with the colors a little bit, and I think that's fun. So anyways, top down raglan, pretty easy. I'm getting closer to being done with the raglan increases. I just do, you know, a couple, hi Quinny, I do a couple of stripes, you know, here and there. I love that it's on such small amounts of small number of stitches and whatnot. And I'm on a size 5. It calls for a 4, and I was just getting a little bit too small of a gauge, and so I jumped up to a 5. Hi Quinn, come here. Do you want to come sit on my lap? Oh, I'm sorry. Come here. Let me hold you. She just woke up. Can you say hi? No? Okay.
I'm shy.
Okay, you can be shy. Lastly, what I was working on, I didn't have that sock pulled out the other day and needed something to cast on, and so I decided to cast on some Christmas socks so that I would be done by Christmas. Here's what the skein looks like, and it's Wisdom Yarns Marathon sock in the North Pole colorway. You can see that's what it'll look like. I love that it has an example of the striping, and all I've done is the cuff, and I need to do like one more row on it or something, because all I had were my size 0 double points sitting there, and so I figured, well, because I wasn't going to be, I don't remember where I was, but I knew I wouldn't be there long enough to get more than the cuff, so I was like, meh, I can get it started. So anyway, that's all the knitting I have. I haven't spun. I need to, but I've been so focused on the bedroom that I haven't. So acquisitions, I have one that was sent to me. My friend didn't want her Diacraft Northern Lights tips anymore, and so that's what she sent me. There's no cables, but I have 2 sets of my own, and I can order cables. They're only like $5 a piece, and you can custom order what length you want. And so these were mine already. I just stuck them in there, but it's sizes 3 through 10, and these are the 3.5 inch. The reason I only have 1.4 and 1.5 is because that's what I'm using on Quinn's shirt. I have a 4 on the left, and then I'm knitting with the right. But anyway, it's the 3.5 inch size, and it's just this nice kind of silver color. I don't remember what they actually call it. So anyways, and there's the pocket up here for the cables, and it's totally my color too. I love that. So anyways, I was very, very excited to get those. Yeah. Oh, and I got a new bag this week. I'm in a Plexus of the Month. Are you being silly? A Plexus of the Month club, and we get a shipment of different Plexus products that this gal makes, and she sent this really nice canvas bag. Are you helping show it? It's nice and big, and what I love is it zips, the top zips, and it has this nice little pocket right here. So oh, I already did. So anyway, that is all I have to show you. I'm gonna get this girl some breakfast. Are you hungry? Do you want to go have some yogurt? No, you want some cereal? Yeah. So
Bye.
Bye. All right. Say until next time.
Until next time.
Keep knitting.
Keep knitting.
Look, you have to look at the camera. Say keep knitting.
Keep knitting.
And now wave. Say bye.
Bye.